They spent $300 million on a movie about a dial, and now the only thing ticking is the clock on the entire franchise's life support. It is official. Disney and Lucasfilm have reportedly axed not one, but two Indiana Jones television projects that were in active development for Disney+. One of these was supposed to be a prequel series centered around Indy's mentor, Abner Ravenwood. You know, the legendary father of Marion Ravenwood, the guy who spent his life obsessed with the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, that guy. He's staying in the vault, along with any other hope Disney had of turning this 80-year-old archaeologist into a cinematic universe. Hey Geekly, Kikai Wafra here. Strap in, we're opening the file. The facts are pretty straightforward, even if the corporate spin is dizzying. Following the lackluster performance of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny at the box office, Lucasfilm has decided to pull the plug on expanding the brand to the small screen. The big one everyone was talking about was that Abner Ravenwood prequel. It was designed to explore the world of archaeology and mysticism before World War II, likely featuring a younger version of the characters we grew up with. With Harrison Ford hanging up the fedora for good, Disney was looking for a way to keep the IP alive without its leading man. This was the big play to make Indy a brand rather than just a guy in a hat. Now, let's be fair for a second. From a business perspective, this actually makes total sense. If you are a Disney executive looking at the balance sheet for Dial of Destiny, you're seeing red everywhere. The movie cost an absolute fortune to make, upward of $300 million, and it didn't exactly set the world on fire with audiences. If the flagship movie can't get people into seats, why would you sink another $100 million into a niche streaming series? Plus, Indiana Jones is notoriously difficult to recast. The fans are protective. By stepping back, Disney is showing a rare moment of restraint. They're saying, maybe we shouldn't force this if the demand isn't there. It's the responsible thing to do for the shareholders, right? It preserves the legacy of the original trilogy by not diluting it with mediocre spin-offs. But let's talk about the real problem. Let's talk about the absolute hypocrisy of a studio that spent 5 years telling us Indiana Jones was their next big multi-platform pillar and then dump it the second a single movie didn't perform like an Avengers sequel. Are they taking us for fools? They spent years grooming the audience to expect a wider world of Indy. They teased us with the lore, the mentors, and the history. And now, because they fundamentally misunderstood why Dial of Destiny struggled, hint, it wasn't the lack of a prequel, it was the bloated budget and the depressing script, they're just torching the whole building. It's the classic Hollywood panic pivot. When things go well, they oversaturate us until we're sick of it. When things go slightly south, they vanish into the night. It's so cynical. They don't care about the story of Abner Ravenwood or the rich history of the 1930s. They only care about the IP. If the IP doesn't print money on day one, the IP gets executed. They're treating one of the greatest adventure franchises in history like a failing tech startup. We were told Disney Plus was the home for deep dives into these worlds. Turns out it's just a graveyard for projects that didn't have a high enough return on investment during their first weekend. It's exhausting. We get all the marketing hype about expanding the legend, and the moment the wind changes, they leave us standing in the desert with a broken whip and a bill for the subscription. The link to the full report is in the description. So let's settle this in the comments. Are you relieved that Disney is finally stopping the franchise fatigue by canceling these shows? Or are you annoyed that we're losing a potentially cool prequel just because the accountants are scared? Are you team let the legend rest or team give us the Ravenwood prequel? Oh, alright, case closed on this disaster. You are now officially up to speed on the mess over at Lucasfilm. If you loved the breakdown, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell because the geek news never sleeps, and neither do I. To help keep the lights on and buy me a coffee, link is right down there in the description. Now, a quick test of your geek culture before you bail. Did you actually recognize who I'm supposed to be today? Look at the fit and tell me in the comments if I nailed the character or if I just look like a confused cosplayer who got lost on the way to the convention. I need to know if the vibe is landing. Catch you on the next one. This was Kikai Wafra for News Geekly.